I'm very happy to here to conduct this press conference. That last 11 years under the dynamic leader, Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi's governance, the women empowerment and Digvigyan empowerment is a very big achievement, and it's a milestone, and it is to write in a golden words. See, the last 11 years under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, women-led development. The women today, they are active partners in the national growth. The initiative of health, education, sanitation, housing, digital access and financial inclusion have created a strong foundation for women-led development. Over the last decades, the women have moved from the margin to the center of India's development story. Friends, from the self-help group to startup, science to defense, sports to governance, we are witnessing, India is witnessing, New Bharat is witnessing an unprecedented rise of Nari Shakti across the every sector. Our Honorable Prime Minister has consistently emphasized that the empowerment of women is the key to India's social strength, economic growth and global standing. This vision has shaped a comprehensive policy framework of covering every stage of women's life. I may list out some of schemes also, how the women are empowered the last 11 years under the dynamic leader of our Honorable Prime Minister's government. The first time in India, the gender ratio has reached 10-20 women for 1,000 men. That is 1,020 women for 1,000 men, as per the National Family Survey 5. We are all aware, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, a बहुत बड़ा scheme our Honorable Prime Minister implementing. From 2014, we are seeing the result of that scheme. And also, friends, the houses, PM Awas Yojana, almost Gramin, 2.75 crore beneficiaries. The houses in Tamil Nadu also, the people tells this is the Modi house. Wherever we go and ask, they tell in the Modi house. Like the housing scheme are familiar, they are getting benefit. The house is the dignity for them. Every family, they need a shelter. For that dream, our Honorable Prime Minister is fulfilling that dream of the houses those needed. And also for the part-time, you know, the land right, the house right, the land right, the house right name is the sisters and mother's name. That is women's name. And also a big achievement in the last 10 years, almost 10.33 Mahilas, they got free gas connection under PM Ujjwala Yojana. For that, I also came from village. I saw when I was small, that time my mother used to cook in the wood. So now that is almost 100% eradicated. Our Honorable Prime Minister given free gases to the mothers and sisters. And also the Jan Asodi Kendras, the sanitation. It is very important in our village or our rural area, urban area. The women's necessary, the sanitary pads. The 77 crore sanitary pads are given to each 1 rupee through the Jan Asodi Kendras. And also the girl child, I told about you for the Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. 4.2 crore children, they have opened account in Suganya Samriddhi Yojana. This account is empowering to the girl children. It is going to help the girl children is going to study for the higher education. And also, friends, the almost 10 crore women, they are mobilized a organized way in the almost 90 lakh self-help groups in the national wide. The self-help groups is a major role to gather the women and giving importance to them and giving empower to them in the particularly in the rural areas and urban areas also. In that another thing, the Mudra Yojana is a very big achievement in India. The successful scheme, the almost 68% of total loans worth 14.72 lakh crore dispersed under this scheme. For them are entrepreneurs. They are going to entrepreneurs under the Mudra scheme. They are empowered already under this scheme. And also 3 crore women in national wide. The 3 crore women now they become a Lakpati Didi for the various schemes, the financial inclusion. Now they are become an independent. They are independent economy. They are independent. 3 crore women are Lakpati Didis now. And also the women self-help groups, I already mentioned 90 lakh women self-help groups are working in the national wide. Almost 10 crore women are participating in that. For them, rupees 1,261 crore are dispersed 24 to 26 in 1,500 women self-help groups. And we know the historical achievement under the dynamic leader, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, the Women Reservation Bill. 33% Women Reservation Bill has taken up, and the bill passed the both houses, and the act also came to the empowerment of the women for the ensure of the in Lok Sabha seat, Lok Sabha and state assemblies, including the SC/ST women. This 33% reservation is going to come. That act already passed by the Parliament. It is an historical event. That is the first Bharat Parliament. Our culture, our Parliament constructed a new Parliament. In that new Parliament, the first bill placed the special session in the first bill placed for this reservation bill. And also the historical act came up for the dignity of Muslim women. The triple talaq has removed, abolished this triple talaq system, and also removal of Article 35 is restored equal right to property, equal right to legal right for the women in Jammu Kashmir. And And also I can tell more schemes in the women empowerment, houses, sanitary pads, and Jal Jeevan Mission for them drinking water, and also free gas connection, and Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, like schemes, Mudra Yojana. These schemes are self-help groups. These schemes are boosting to empower the women. And also in National Defence Academy this year, the 17 women cadets they passed out of 319 male cadets. It's a new beginning in the defense forces. Now after that we are all aware, we are know that Chandrayaan 3, in that Chandrayaan 3 mission, the India is reached the South Pole. In that Chandrayaan 3 mission, the women scientists, they have contributed, the women scientists headed for that, where the Chandrayaan 3 reached, that place is Shivasakti. So our Honorable Prime Minister is giving important to them, to how our sisters and mothers have to empower. And also today in pilot sector, the aviation sector, the women pilots are leading in the worldwide. They are coming up. Finally, in this women empowerment, we are marching to the Viksit Bharat, and 2047 is our target, our Prime Minister's vision, that for the Viksit Bharat, in that Viksit Bharat, the Mahila empowerment is taking place a historical manner. And also the Digvigyan Jan is another important sector. There, how the Digvigyans equality, dignity, accessibility and empowerment for the past 11 years under the dynamic leader of our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's governance. The Digvigyans they are coming up, they are getting more facilities. I quote our Honorable Prime Minister's quote here. Our government is committed to upholding the honor and self-respect of our Divyang brothers and sisters across the country. The policies and decisions we have made for them in the last 10 years are direct proof of this. Our Prime Minister mentioned here the vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. The Digvyangs are getting facilities, they are growing, they are coming further up for the equality, dignity and the empowerment and accessibility. In this accessibility, under the Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, 563 crore were spent to make 1,314 central government buildings are accessible for the different ables. Furthermore, 1,748 buildings also have been made accessible in this. And also in 2016, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji passed an act for the Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 to empower them for the education, employment and legal duties, to ensure accessibility, non-discrimination and full participation for persons with disabilities. The Act also emphasized the centralized certification regime and strengthened rights to the inclusive education, employment and community living. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has increased the budget for the Department of empowerment of persons with disabilities from rupees 338 crore in 2014 to 1,333 crore today. Almost 70% higher budget or increase. And also the scheme for ADIP scheme for the aid for them to provide, they can for them mobility. The mobility devices are providing for the surgeries also. The ADIP scheme is helping them to take up to further. And Deen Dayal Divyangyan Rehabilitation Scheme. The scheme is giving finance to the NGOs, those who working for the Divyangyan for education, rehabilitation and skilling for the disabilities. And also the national database unique disability ID cards are ensuring to providing them these cards to eliminate the duplicates on online renewals. And also in December 2024, the government launched for 31 DTH channels dedicated to the Indian sign languages for the training of for hearing impaired students, special educators, interpreters and relevant organizations. And also in 2020, the Indian Sign Language Research and Training Institute had a MOU with the National Council of Education Research and Training to translate the textbooks for classes 1 to 12 and other teaching materials into ISL. And also for the Divyang Kala Mela, this platform is giving to exhibit them skill and them art performance for the Kala Mela is helping. And Vocal for Local economic independence for them to promote the artisans, entrepreneurs, self-help groups, exhibitions of handicrafts, food products, sensitive devices and job fairs for cultural events to help the Divyangyan to come to the mainstream. Our government is committed and our government is working for the Divyangyan and our